with grade 7 and grade 12 learners being the first ones to go back to class. But Teachers Union SADTU has expressed reservations about the safety of teachers from the COVID-19 pandemic. For more, we are joined by SADTU's head of Secretariat, Mr. Xolani Fakude. Mr. Fakude, good afternoon. Monday, are teachers going to be going back to class or not?
I found this on the web.
Thank you. Firstly, let me greet you and let me greet the viewers as well. Well, I can confirm that indeed, from the point of view of the South African Democratic Teachers Union, we are still insisting that there should be compliance, which means that the system should be able to prove to us as education workers that it will indeed first be safe for us to be in the workplace. This is even before we can talk about the learners that then are expected to come at school, the first batches on Monday. And by the way, we have always said that these are some of the timelines that are unrealistic. And these are the timelines that seek to even increase the trust deficit between ourselves and the Department of Basic Education.
Now, the government has set aside this whole week to prepare schools for reopening. There's been cleaning of schools. We've seen the pictures around that. Government has said that it's ready to supply the necessary PPE to the teachers. Are you saying that you're not seeing that on the ground yourselves?
Well, all that we're saying is that it is happening, albeit at not necessarily the expected pace, which means it is happening. But now the challenge is that there are other deeper challenges that had already been in the system that also have to be unlocked first, even before you can talk about the minimum hygiene package, such as the PPEs, etc. So we are receiving reports that indeed the PPE is arriving in other schools, but then we are also getting reports that in certain instances, it is still at the circuit offices, which means therefore that it is not necessarily getting to the sites where it matters the most. So we retain our position that there are still many, many challenges that need to be dealt with, and the Monday timeline for the first batch of learners to even come back into the school is unrealistic by and large, because the system is not going to be ready in majority.
Lastly, about the teachers themselves, are they motivated to go back to class? Or it's a question of now people have been at home for some time, still getting paid, and maybe they would still want to continue staying at home for a little bit?
Well, teachers have always been motivated to go back to school. Remember, this is our workplace. We are trained to do this. So educators have always been motivated to go into the workplace. However, what they have insisted on is that their health, their safety is also sacrosanct. This is a right that must always be protected. It is a right that must always be defended, and not just for the educators, by the way, also for the learners as well. So there's a lot of anxieties that we are picking up on the ground, but then we are continuing to say that we are going to be using our systems as well to monitor as to the deliverables that we have agreed upon with the employer, to make sure that by the time the system is ready to indeed be back on, by that time everything has been delivered.
Well, we have 3 days, including the weekend, of course, now to Monday. What are you going to be doing during that time to make sure that you get ready for Monday?
Well, we are currently conducting a number of surveys, and these surveys are the ones that we are utilizing to pick up accurate and relevant data from the ground. Because one of the principles that we've always emphasized on as a union is that we must always rely on data that is very, very accurate and live data. So what we'll be doing as a union in the next few days, that we'll be continuing to monitor to make sure that we hold the employer accountable, because our position remains clear that we will not compromise on our health and safety, and we need to see that indeed what we agreed upon has been delivered before we can even be in that workplace.
Well, Mr. Fakude, we wish you all the best, and of course we hope that teachers will be able to go back to school on Monday, and schooling can resume in the country, and hopefully that your members are also looking forward to that as well.
Provided they'll be safe, they are looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Well, that's where we leave it for today. More business news after the break. Stay with us.